Jamie and Adam are testing the movie myth that diving onto a grenade will smother the blast and save your buddies. But with the neighbors likely to gripe about a grenade going off in the backyard, the team head for one of their favorite spots.
When you want to blow up grenades, you've got to go to a place where they blow up grenades. Like the Alameda County Sheriff's Department's bomb range. That's where we are here.
This place is a veritable Mythbuster mecca. Tori, Grant, and Carrie came here to blow up their pants.
Those are exploding pants.
And Jamie and Adam
You gonna paint your house with explosives?
had a little TNT party of their own.
Get your pirate face on! We're about to shoot some cannons!
And in the Pirate Special, Redbeard and Captain Heinemann tested the myth that cannonball splinters are more deadly than the cannonball. But this time, the guys are going gung-ho with grenades, and the Mythbusters turn to some old friends, Frank Doyle and J.D. Nelson, for the crucial explosive ingredients.
All right, so what do we got?
Okay.
So, if I pull the pin on one of these things, it's going to go off, right?
No, Jamie, these are inert. We wouldn't trust Adam near the live ones. But first, Adam can't resist testing a mini-myth.
So the thing I've always wondered is, can you really pull these out with your teeth?
It works in the movies, but how about real life?
Ow.
No, I don't think so.
Oh, why would you do this when you had a perfectly good finger right over here?
It requires over 10 pounds of pressure to pull a grenade pin. So this myth is busted, a bit like Adam's teeth. Seeing as Jamie and Adam's expertise in this field comes from the movies, why don't we start with a little Grenades 101?
Now, what the heck are all these things?
A hand grenade is basically a small handheld explosive device. It's meant to be thrown, and after a certain delay, it goes off.
And this is how they work. As everyone knows, the pin comes out first. That releases the striker lever, which hits the percussion cap, and that sets off the chemical fuse. Finally, the detonator sparks the packed explosive material. There's a big boom, and the metal casing fragments into deadly shrapnel.
So, if the M67 is going to be our grenade today, do we get to pull the pin and throw them?
Well, we won't be doing that today for safety reasons. We'll have a very controlled situation, and I think it's a good time for JD and myself to go and prepare the actual grenades that we're going to use today.
So while control freaks Frank and JD set up a remote firing system,
Let's start assembly lining this thing.
it's time to call for our movie extras. But our leading man can kick back in his trailer, as this test is the control.
We are going to detonate one of our grenades without anything inhibiting it. We're going to see what it does to our figures standing around it. Then we'll have a baseline comparison of damage to compare all the other subsequent tests to.
As the director of this slice of movie mayhem, Adam choreographs his stuntmen.
I am standing on the exact location where we're going to be detonating our series of grenade tests. The grenade is lethal within 15 feet and can cause injuries within 40 to 45 feet.
The actors are placed at 5-foot intervals from the blast epicenter. And with everyone poised for action, JD brings the small package with the big boom.
Okay, here it is.
Well, it goes right where that cone is.
Okay.
With the live grenade in position, our experts clear the area and begin their preparation.
We're going to be putting a blasting cap into the body of the grenade, into the explosive, running it by hardwire all the way back to the fire control point where we will do the button pushing and initiate the explosion.
Okay, Christmas is coming. It's time to think about getting the bird.
Well, unlike my bean curd substitute turkey, there's all sorts of stories and myths about the dangers of the frozen turkey. I've heard it's cracked floor tiles, like broken toes, and even caused the death of some pets.
Well, why don't we separate fact from fiction and see how lethal these frozen turkeys are?
Yeah, it'll be like a public service.
Exactly.
Every holiday season, we humans cause the turkey population to plummet. But is it possible for a falling frozen turkey to turn the tables on us? When dropping turkeys, what do you need? Well, first up, a steel turkey dropper rig to play the role of a frazzled homemaker. Grant is making its power mechanism.
I am rigging up the air system for the turkey drop rig, and these are rotary pneumatic air cylinders. When I hit this button, it's going to open up the arms just like that, dropping the turkey.
Meanwhile, Tori demonstrates his handyman skills.
So we need some hands to hold the turkey for the turkey drop mechanism. So what I'm doing right now, I'm gonna pour up some hands in some urethane, and I'm gonna put this tube, these steel tubes, into the hands, and they will slip into the arms of the rig.
He pours the instant urethane into pre-made molds, gives them a shake, and presto. Give him a hand, everyone.
Little fella.
Don't touch me with those.
Well, you don't know where these have been?
Tori attaches his arms to the rig.
Put it there.
Using a sandbag as a substitute bird, they're ready to test its turkey dropping technique.
3, 2, 1.
Oh, what the heck? Well, looks like we need to make some new hands.
Now, that's what I call a firm handshake.
Do we want to talk about why I just got hit in the head with a thumb?
No.
Nah.
While the guys make their modifications, Carrie is creating some feet.
Adam already has made a mold for our steel cap boot experiment in the past, and I'm going to use this because it makes a great skeleton foot.
The skeleton is made from a mix of urethane and fiberglass that dries to a realistic bone-like texture.
Oh, there's a good mold Adam made here. This one fits into here. This one.
Then they're encased in a foot-shaped mold of ballistics gelatin.
Nice.
Her feet are definitely suffering from fallen arches, but they'll do just fine.
Okay, just go stick these in the fridge till we use them.
Now, because we're all dog lovers here at MythBusters, to test the turkeys falling on small pets myth, Carrie is making fake pooches. She covers canine replica skeletons in ballistics medium. This is definitely not a breed recommended for families with small children.
This is not a normal family Christmas for me because the dogs in my family are very cute and snuggly. They're neither drippy nor frightening.
To up the realism, professional still life model Gertrude is helping out.
I'm trying to figure out exactly how the hindquarters look on a dog. And Gertrude's modeling for me because she's almost the same dog.
Maybe not quite the same. She adds some bulging eyeballs.
Yeah, this really doesn't have anything to do with the myth, but it's a flesh-eating zombie dog. So it needs some flesh-eating zombie googly eyes.
So wrong. There's something blocking it.
Now, if they could just get it to work.
Oh.
Goldberg run 3.
It's take 3, and this time Jamie's engine is off to a smooth start.
Motor's turning, and it's spinning. We're good. Oh, that's good. That's looking happy.
Strike.
Oh, yes. Come on, baby. Come on.
Will Jamie's party favor reach the peak?
Totally do it. You can totally do it. You're up for this. You trained for this.
A nice performance under pressure. The Mentos slides down the ramp. And Adam's trick shot is nothing but net. The ball boards the train, comes to the end of the line, and triggers their soda swinger.
Come on. Come on. There we go. Come on, baby. That's it.
Red Robot Man marches into position.
Go, robot.
Goes.
The turkey roll is perfection. But Yellow Robot Man shorts out.
Why is he stuck? He's never gotten stuck before in his life.
Adam is discovering this time of year can be very stressful.
Jamie and I have both done rigs like this for commercials before. And when we've done gags like this, I mean, we've had between 2 and 8 weeks to build all the gags, and then like between 3 and 4 days to shoot the whole thing. This rig, 37 gags, we had 1 week to build it and shoot it.
How about some holiday music to lift everyone's spirits?
Goldberg, run 4.
Hold the string.
Goldberg, run 5. Fingers crossed. Take 6. Goldberg, run.
There it goes. Yep. Oh! Oh! Oh, no! The things that have never gone wrong are the things that are going wrong.
Goldberg, run 7.
What the?
Someone's goodwill is fading fast.
All the ones that seem totally bulletproof are the ones that are now giving us trouble. In fact, everything that I thought we didn't have to worry about at all are the things that are going wrong with it.
Goldberg, take 8.
Tis the season to be jolly, but Adam's about to throw in the towel.
All right, you guys, all this talk about Christmas is making me hungry.
Funny you should say that, because we actually found a myth that involves cooking a turkey.
Apparently, there's enough radiation coming off of a radio antenna to cook a turkey just like in your microwave at home.
You have got to be kidding.
No, I'm serious.
What sad person cooks their Christmas dinner in the microwave?
Everyone's sad at the holidays.
Every happy homemaker has their preferred method to truss, stuff, and roast a holiday turkey. But for this recipe, you don't even need an oven. A microwave heats food by emitting electromagnetic radiation that travels through it in waves. The waves vibrate water molecules that raise the temperature. Radio and TV towers also send out this kind of energy, so maybe they can also bake a bird. To put the tower theory to the test, the team takes a scenic drive to the tallest broadcasting antenna in San Francisco, Sutro Tower. At 977 feet, it's going to be a long climb to bake their bird, but the view should be spectacular.
Welcome back. The myth we're testing is if you're driving alongside a big rig when its tire blows, can that exploding tire kill you or specifically behead you? So, this is our big rig, suspended in midair by our 30,000-pound forklift. We are going to lower this down onto our dynamometer. I know it looks like a pickup truck, but in fact it's a dynamometer. It'll spin up to speed. Spinning this wheel in the correct direction, we are going to make this tire fail by hell or high water, and that failing tire hopefully will knock Buster's head right off his body.
The reason we're using a motorcycle here is because this is a worst-case scenario. Obviously, on a motorcycle, you're a lot more exposed. And so if a big tire like this goes off, while we could have put a car there, we figured this is the nastiest thing we can do with this particular experiment.
Things are only going to get nastier for Buster, because to blow the tire, Adam and Jamie are going with the direct approach. That's the shotgun.
We're using a standard 12-gauge shotgun with a deer slug in it. The deer slug is actually one of the heavier bullets that is available in any kind of normal civilian weapon. It'll penetrate the tire, and the big question here is whether the air inside the tire is enough to actually make it rip or do something violent other than hiss.
And what we're hoping, if everything goes really well, what'll happen is that slug will enter the tire right about here and compromise the radial. That's the steel wires that run around the perimeter of the tire. Once that radial gets compromised, if the gods are shining on us, this thing will open up like a zipper and fail in a magnificent fashion, slicing Buster's head right off.
That's the theory, but in case the impact is not enough to sever Buster's head, the team has an injury monitoring backup.
Our crash test dummy has shock watch stickers, so by looking at which one of these gets tripped, both on his head and on his torso, we'll be able to see what kind of damage he sustains during this tire accident.
With the dynamometer spinning, it's time for the magic bullet. Of course, this isn't a typical way for a truck tire to blow, but this should result in the catastrophic failure that this myth needs.
Okay, this is tire blowout, shotgun shell, revving the engine.
While Adam revs the target tire up to highway speeds, Jamie rides shotgun.
I'm good whenever we're clear elsewhere.
He must hit the tire, pumped to standard truck pressure of 115 psi, sidewall center.
That's a hit, man. Nicely done. I heard it go up.
Yep.
But that was not the catastrophic failure we wanted.
Jamie was right on the money, hitting the tire dead on. But there sure was no explosion.
That's a neat hole. It's right there.
That's the hole?
Well, that ought to tell us something. I mean, that bullet's that big around. You know, they don't get any bigger than that, and it hit it clean right in the sidewall. It had to hit some of those cables. That was full pressure, and it was a perfect hit, so.
The high speed shows the moment of impact as the slug pierces the tire. But Buster's white-knuckle ride is unaffected. To get a tire explosion, you're going to need a plan B.
We have to come up with a new plan, because what we're doing isn't working. These tires are super crazy, incredibly resilient.
Supposing you're silly enough to tailgate a truck, would this dangerous stunt really improve your gas mileage? Tori, Grant, and Carrie's wind tunnel tests have given this myth the thumbs up, in theory.
That is so much more than I expected.
But what about in practice? Time to go full scale.
We should drive at different distances behind the truck. We'll start at 100 feet and move our way up to 2 feet and see if we save fuel as we get closer to the truck.
2 feet seems really dangerous. Who's gonna drive?
I think Grant should do it, because he just had his middle name legally changed to Danger.
Grant Dangery Mahara. I like the sound of that.
The MythBusters also like the look of the impressive beast they've lined up for their full-scale test. At the Portland, Oregon headquarters of one of America's leading rig makers, Freightliner.
We've got this new Cascadia Freightliner here. It took 2,500 hours to shape the aerodynamics of this truck to make it the most fuel-efficient truck in the world. It's the brand new truck, and we're anxious to get it out on the track again and help you with that myth.
Test engineer Matt Mark Staller reckons drafting is suicidal, especially considering how many blind spots are on a big rig. But he's agreed to help out under controlled conditions. It's time to sit back with a bottle of grog for a laundry legend.
So guys, what's the myth?
The myth is that in ye olde times, pirates used rum not only for inspiration, but also as a stain remover.
Well, pirates don't strike me as the most fastidious lot, but I suppose if you had blood all over your shirt and then you had shore leave, you'd want to wash it off first.
I guess especially if you had a date.
Pirates had dates?
Pirates and rum go together like cannons and balls. But is it possible that they don't just drink grog, but use it to get those puffy pirate shirts whiter than white?
Well, obviously we're gonna need some authentic pirate shirt material, and, we're gonna need to stain it with some period-accurate stains.
Blood, sweat, and tar.
Perfect.
We're also obviously gonna need some sort of ye olde rum.
Right, and I think we should have something to compare that to. So I think we should use some ye olde soap as well. I have a secret method that the pirates may have used as a laundry technique, and we should compare all three of those to some modern detergent. So I'll do the staining.
Well, I'll do the cleaning then.
And I guess that leaves me to judge?
Exactly.
So it's time for Adam to get down and dirty.
The plan for this test is to choose 3 most common stains that pirates would encounter. One would be, of course, blood. Another would be, of course, sweat. Pirates were not known for their bathing. And the third would be something you'd find on the ship, which would be pitch or tar. I'm going to make up some 1-foot square samples of this cloth. We're going to put those various stains on it and try and see whether or not rum will actually take those stains out.
Being a pirate's a bit difficult. What with the not bathing, the hot sun, the blood, the sweat. And this rough fabric is very harsh on my skin.
We don't have any pirate shirts from the period, but we do know that while a fancy gentleman of the age might have had a very fine weave shirt made of linen, pirates would have used coarser stuff called lock ram. The closest we could find is this bleached embroidery fabric, which has a thread count of 40. It's quite rough, but it's perfect for our tests. And I think it's the closest thing we could possibly find.
The first authentic pirate stain is blood, and Adam knows just where to find some.
We have it in the fridge because Jamie likes to have it every day for lunch. No.
Has anyone taken my blood out of the fridge?
Next, Adam takes Jamie's lunch and smears the pig's blood over 4 sample sheets.
This is the plight of the pirate laundryman. Next up for our pirate shirts is pitch. Now, blood and sweat are easy choices when it comes to pirate stains, but we wanted to choose something like grime, and we know that pitch was used on pirate boats and period boats of the time. We've used it on plenty of other episodes, and it's very dirty stuff, so that's what we're gonna put on our pirate shirts next. Ta-da! We have 1 stain to go, and I'm gonna have to work for this one.
Yep, Adam has a plan to sweat for science.
I'm gonna do 3 things. I'm gonna get on Jamie's treadmill in my sweat lodge, formerly his mold room, and I'm gonna put on the sweatiest of the sweaty things we have, which is our fire suit. That thing is damn hot inside. I should have no problem producing lots of the correct bodily fluid for this test.
To harvest the bodily fluids, Adam arranges the shirt material for maximum moisture absorption.
It's go time.
Adam leaps onto the treadmill, ready to stain up. But after 15 seconds on his very own wheel of death, he's gasping like an asthmatic hamster.
That says I've only burned 20 calories. What is that about?
Why don't we fast forward to the end of the workout? After all, who wants to watch a grown man ooze sweat stains?
Now we've got 3 kinds of stains here. We got blood, pitch, and sweat. Or as pirates like to refer to it, Saturday night.
It's the MythBusters MacGyver special.
It's time to take the antics of one Angus MacGyver, place him under the MythBusters microscope, and separate fact from fiction. Are you ready?
The fans begged for it, so we're doing it. Mac versus the MythBusters. He's one of the boys' all-time heroes. But there comes a time when the student must challenge the master.
Ask me why I'm swinging this bottle around.
Okay, why are you swinging this bottle around?
This has to do with the very first MacGyver myth we're actually testing, which we're calling sodium jailbreak.
In this episode, Mac needs a hole in a wall in a hurry. Knowing that alkaline metals react violently with water, he packs pure sodium inside a gel cap and drops it in a bottle filled with water. The capsule works like a fuse. By the time it dissolves, Mac and his special new friend have time to duck and cover. It's all very clever, but would it really work? Just to be safe, they wheel in a mobile, see-through laboratory for the small-scale tests.
Well, I pulled out the birds in a truck. It's got the whole clear side. I'm gonna park that outside Jamie's shop.
With Jamie scouting locations for the full-scale test, Tori volunteers to help Adam build the test rig. With a pulley, a weight,
Yeah, perfect.
a bowl of water, and a glass vial of metal sodium, Adam hopes to test the explosive potential without bringing the house down. They're using an open bowl of water, not a sealed bottle. So if there's any truth to this at all, we should get the show without the shrapnel.
I'll cut that string, break the glass that the sodium's in, release it into the water, and show us what happens.
Pure sodium is so volatile, it could even react with moisture in the air. So, better safe than singed.
That's why I am so well protected from any kind of splashback, toxicity, anything. Nothing can get inside my suit, and with the face shield on, I think I'm properly protected.
Giant banana number 2 reduces the risk by painting the tray with mineral oil. This gasoline byproduct stops alkali metals from reacting with atmospheric water.
Kind of like a cooking show, except it'll kill you.
Okay, so now it's sitting on the mineral oil. Everyone eyes open, this is for real. It's scary.
The sodium metal cuts just like butter.
Look at that.
Whoa.
That is far out.
So that, oh my gosh.
All right, so
that's just metal.
2 small slices make 1 thin gram, and that's exactly what MacGyver used to blow a hole in a wall.
1 gram of sodium, it looks so innocuous. It's part of table salt, for crying out loud.
Good luck.
I'll see you at the shield.
Be careful.
Hey, Adam's middle name is Careful. Then again, his last name is, well, let's get on with it. They'll do this test twice. First with the vial sitting on top of the water.
So this is sodium surface test in 3, 2, 1.
Wah, wah.
No, it's gonna take a second.
There you go.
That was cool. It wasn't a single reaction. It was like a pow, 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 which actually lends credence to the MacGyver clip in which there are 2 bangs, not just 1.
But will this bonsai 4th of July ever be big enough to blow a man-sized hole through solid masonry? The boys repeat the test with a sodium vial immersed in water.
From what I understand from the science, being under the water is probably going to be less of a reaction than being on top of the water.
Interesting.
Yeah.
All right, let's find out.
This is sodium underwater. In 3, 2, 1. That looks like it worked.
Yeah. Whoa! That was a bigger one.
Yeah.
You have to wonder if Adam ever gets tired of being wrong. MacGyver got it right, and that's a good enough result for Jamie to call in the contractors.
Okay, you guys are gonna build a wall. We're gonna blow it up, but do a good job anyway. Let's go.
You guys like baseball?
Are you kidding? I love going to the ball game.
Well, so do our fans, and they have inundated us with baseball myths to bust.
So what have we got?
Can a corked bat hit a ball further?
And what about whether sliding into bases quicker than running?
How about the one, does a dry ball go farther than a humid ball?
Exactly. And can you hit a baseball so hard, you knock the hide right off?
Sweet.
And we have got a real baseball legend to help us out.
Who?
None other than the Roger Clemens.
Roger Clemens? How did we get him?
Turns out the Rockets fan of the show.
Let's play ball.
That's right, it's the MythBusters and the MythBuster. He's one of the all-time baseball greats, pitcher Roger Clemens. In a career spanning more than 20 years, the man they call the Rocket has won a World Series and taken out the prestigious Cy Young Award an amazing 7 times. He also happens to be a big fan of MythBusters. And Jamie's stammering with excitement.
I'm speechless to have the Roger Clemens here helping us deal with these baseball issues.
Later in the show, we'll study the mojo of the throw and answer once and for all the age-old question: can a baseball really slide and curve? Or is it just an optical illusion?
I'm gonna try and give it my best out here so you can tell what this baseball actually does with these high-speed cameras.
We'll return to Roger later. In the meantime, our first baseball myth's a real corker.
Man, how great is it to have Roger Clemens helping us do baseball myths?
Yep, can't wait to see him do his stuff.
Well, our first myth is a total classic, the corked bat.
What's a corked bat about?
Here's the idea. You drill a hole in the end of a normal regulation Major League Baseball bat, you put some cork in there, you plug it back in with wood, and that bat is all of a sudden able to hit balls a lot farther.
Is that legal in baseball?
It's ever so slightly totally illegal.
Huh.
You bet it's illegal. In 2003, the baseball world was rocked when star slugger Sammy Sosa's bat split during a game, exposing a cork core. He claimed it was a practice bat he'd picked up by mistake. But Sosa was immediately ejected from the game and suspended for 7 matches.
What do you think our general plan is?
Well, we get a bunch of bats, figure out how to cork some of them, and see which one will hit a ball further.
I think we should remove the human element from this as much as we can. Let's make a machine that swings the bat at the exact same speed every time.
Yeah, and while we're at it, we need to do the same sort of thing with a ball, only we can use a cannon instead of the swinging machine.
You know what? I'm thinking that we've already built everything we need to test this myth for previous episodes. We don't need to go out anywhere. It's all right here in the shop.
Yeah, a few modifications maybe, but they'll work.
Excellent.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's a MythBusters first. No blueprint diagrams, no time-consuming builds. This baseball myth will be totally off the shelf.
Cary Grant and Tori built a sword swinging rig when they were doing sword cutting a sword. That's perfect for swinging a baseball bat. And 2, Jamie and I already built an air-powered cannon.
That is so wrong.
Which is perfect for throwing baseballs at speeds well up to the supersonic range, I think. All right, here we go. I'm flicking the switch.
First, a test firing, just to blow away the cobwebs.
That's a nice download, man. That is fast.
Now, a Roger Clemens fastball fizzes towards the batter at between 90 and 100 miles per hour.
There we go.
But Adam and Jamie will go for a more average fastball speed, about 80 miles an hour.
Let's just quickly try 7 psi.
The air pressure required to do that is around 7.5 pounds per square inch.
At
7.5 psi.
Here we go.
79 miles per hour. Close enough.
All right, you guys, get ready for this one. Crocodile myth.
Is it that they live in the sewers?
No.
Is it the crocodiles have tears?
No. This one is, if you're getting chased by a crocodile, you can easily escape it by running in a zigzag pattern, because they cannot turn corners.
In the water, the crocodile is a lightning-quick ambush predator. In that explosive split second when they strike, crocodile lunges have been clocked at around 30 miles an hour. Lunging is one thing, running is another. According to the myth, if you're being chased by a crocodile, all you have to do is run in a zigzag, because their long bodies and short legs cannot make sharp turns.
All right, you guys, this one seems a little dangerous. How do you think we should test it?
Let's use Buster first. We'll build a rig that pulls him in a straight line, and then one that pulls him in a zigzag.
Well, let's try to make this a little interesting instead of just sticking a stake to Buster's butt. Maybe we can make a pair of meat legs.
How do you make meat legs?
Don't ask me.
Guess that'll be your job. We'll build the rig.
The plan is to dangle a dummy from a remote-controlled trolley, which moves from side to side. The trolley, in turn, will be suspended from a steel track. As the trolley is pulled along the track, those juicy meat legs will zigzag. Then they'll take the rig to a croc farm and see if they can make some reptiles run. But this time, believe it or not, Buster's off the hook.
The rig that we're gonna have to put up is going to be suspended. Therefore, my Buster needs to be really, really lightweight. I'm gonna make him entirely out of foam for a torso, and then I might have a little surprise for his legs.
Soon, a new foam Buster is rising like a cake in an oven.
As you can see, he's very light, and it's not gonna put a whole lot of strain on the rig.
This new lightweight Buster hasn't got a leg to stand on, but Carrie has a pair of meat legs all mapped out.
What are these?
They're fishnet stockings.
He'll be wearing fishnet stockings.
Give me all your cash!
And they'll be stuffed with quail. But these are not like any frozen bird you might find in your supermarket.
See,
Oh my God!
I can't do this.
They got feathers on them still.
I can't do this.
You know what? They're not even gutted.
It's a quail sickle.
Put it down! Put it down! No, seriously.
I've never
You are
juggled dead quails
you are
before.
So messed up. Put these down, go back to working whatever you're working on, because I have a really busy day of putting dead birds in sexy lingerie.
Now, there's a sentence you don't hear every day. And here's another. Carrie has to choose the lingerie least likely to come apart while being chewed.
You've got nylon, you got spandex, you got cotton, and I need to test and see which one of these are going to be the best for the crocodiles to be able to hold on to.
With the different stocking stuffed, Carrie takes a scalpel and makes like a crocodile tooth.
I think I'm going with the 100% cotton fishnet stockings.
Adam and Jamie are trying to get a handle on the Hindenburg blaze.
Wow!
Was the airship's metallic paint to blame? The paint on this panel matches the one on the doomed airship. It contains aluminum and iron oxide, two compounds that combine to create explosive thermite. Will they get a reaction? Adam puts flame to the frame.
Go.
No thermite reaction, no intense heat. In fact, it takes 5.5 minutes for the panel to be consumed. That's almost twice as long as the aluminum-coated cotton.
It's almost identical to the cloth by itself.
Wow.
Hang on, guys. Don't write off this myth yet. That was one little panel. The Hindenburg was covered in thousands of square feet of material. Could there be a better boom on a bigger scale?
I mean, maybe there's some crazy amount that could yield an energetic reaction, but it's not this amount.
Obviously, the Hindenburg's designers didn't set out to coat their creation in rocket fuel. Those who pan the paint theory say the aluminum and iron oxide couldn't have formed thermite because the compounds weren't mixed that way. The recipe was completely different. So that's got the MythBusters curious. What would happen if you did paint pure thermite on the skin?
It's more like a paste than a paint, but I think we can smear it on.
Next up, whoa, mega dope.
So where do we start?
Well, I think we should start and find out how long it takes to make a flint arrowhead as opposed to a sharpened stick. Let's have a race. You should make some flint ones, and I'll sharpen some sticks, and we'll compare production times.
Yeah, and when it comes to testing time, we need to both look at their lethality as well as their accuracy, because they're both important.
I agree. So if you're ready, time to dust off those flint knapping skills, because if I'm right, it's about 70 years since you've done it last.
And they're off. First up in this archaeology anecdote, Adam and Jamie go head-to-head in an arrow-making time trial. Stickmaker Savage has made a razor-sharp point in no time at all. But Jamie's finding fashioning flint is far from easy.
Okay. 3.5 minutes.
I can't even come close to competing with that.
There's no contest. Jamie's been shafted. But he keeps chipping away, and an hour later, finally finishes.
We've just seen that it takes much longer to make a stone arrowhead. Now we need to find out if that makes for better arrows. And to do that, we're going to start with a simple lethality test. We'll make some more flint heads, we'll make some more pointed sticks, and we'll fire them into a ballistics gel dummy from a point-blank range. To make sure that both arrow types are fired consistently, we're going to use the automatic archer that we built for the Ninja Special.
So, that's the plan. But what does our resident Neanderthal think is going to happen? Well said. So, with the predictions in place, it's time to get to the point.
All right, you ready?
Go for it.
Here we go. In 3, 2, 1.
Worked like a charm.
Totally.
The sharp stick shot straight as an arrow. But what about the all-important penetration?
Wow. 8.5 inches.
8.5 inches ain't bad. But will the flint be flung further?
Okay, here goes the arrowhead in 3, 2, 1. Look at that. That is pretty clear. The arrowhead went a good inch farther.
There's a glint of flint at the back of the bust and 1 inch more penetration, confirmed by a bunch more tests. But Jamie spotted a problem.
The ballistics medium by itself is a good flesh analog, but animals usually have fur and hide and things like that on it. So we're gonna run the test again and see whether we get any kind of different results with this on it.
Despite the hide slightly hindering both the stick and flint arrows, the results are the same.
Actually, they were very close.
But is that enough to justify all the effort of making one?
This one went in this far, this one went in this far. I mean, you're dead either way.
Right. However, you know, if you think about the animals that are being hunted, some of them are quite large, and you want a bigger wound. You want it to bleed out faster. So I think the arrowhead makes quite a difference. I mean, if you look here, yeah, look at that. There's the pointy stick wound. It's just a little hole, and there's the arrowhead wound. It's nice and wide.
But Jamie isn't impressed. In his mind, the size of the entry wound isn't the issue.
In terms of penetration, it was only about 5% difference, and yet it took 1,000% longer to make this one than this one. So it may not just be about lethality, it might also be about accuracy, and that's what we have to test next.
Yep, they're leaving no stone unturned for this myth.
MythBusters.
Nope, we haven't made this up. It's a myth straight from the fan side.
For the next viewer myth, a fan wants to know if you can chop down a tree with a machine gun.
Oh, just like in the movie Predator, where they mow down a chunk of the jungle.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh, that's funny you should say that, because every time I go hiking in the forest and I'm just like, can I cut that tree down with a machine gun?
Perfect. You're gonna find out.
Tree lovers, huggers, and hippies beware. Tories all fired up and ready to uproot this myth with some machine gun mayhem. Machine guns are a formidable weapon and have been in use for over 100 years. Their deadly spray of bullets, lethal on the battlefield, is, or so the fans claim, the ideal tool for tree felling. Gather around the hot tub, folks. It's going to be glacial.
So what's the myth?
Well, we are dressed for cold weather, and that's good because we're going to test whether or not you can start an avalanche by yodeling. So it's time to get those vocal cords ready.
You think I can yodel?
I know you can.
You think I'm gonna yodel?
No, I don't.
This alpine myth is as old as the hills. Can this beloved form of melodious mountain song set off a mighty avalanche? The idea isn't as nonsensical as it sounds. In previous audio experiments, the guys proved that sound waves from the human voice are powerful enough to shatter glass and even extinguish a flame. Now, using the same notion in this ultimate auditory myth, we're going to try to bring a mountain to its knees.
You know, if we're doing myths on avalanches, we need to go to the mountains.
I think you're right. I think we will. But first, why don't we try some scale experiments here in the shop? See what we can learn about them before we go.
Sure, why not?
Before heading out, Adam makes a mountain by building a fiberboard tray and attaches it to a tiltable stand.
Instead of making a mountain shape, we've gone with a flat plane to eliminate the variables of the topography of the mountain.
They've got their mountain, now they need some winter weather. The guys secure a wooden frame to the scissor lift and staple a sheet of fly screen to the base. A couple of small pancake motors mounted on the corners will really get things shaking.
Oh, that's great.
Next, they spread a thick layer of flour over the mesh.
The screen is hopefully going to snow down our flour in a really nice, even fashion. And then, let's see if we can't start an avalanche here in the shop in scale. Okay, here we go.
They raise their giant sifter to the sky.
We're gonna have flour everywhere.
And let it snow, let it snow, let it snow.
You could use this for rolling out dough and stuff, you know?
Yeah.
In mountainous regions, the most common and destructive kind of avalanche is called a slab avalanche, when a strong, cohesive layer of snow forms on top of weak snow. All it needs is a trigger to break loose. So it's crucial for Adam and Jamie to get their scale test poised at the most precarious point possible.
135, 36.
As the flour slowly builds up, they wait and watch for the exact point it all comes tumbling down.
316, 320.
So I'm gonna kill it at 330. Oh.
It went at exactly 320.
Now that they've got the trigger point timed right on the verge, Jamie grooms the run. They recoat the slope.
316, 320.
Kill it?
Okay.
And are ready to make some noise.
I think it's really hair trigger.
Okay.
Okay, let me give you the decibel meter. So start out at 60, and if I go higher than that, just start dialing it up.
Adam may not be a professional yodeler.
I'm gonna yodel at a soft volume and slowly build up.
But who doesn't know and love such movie classics as Heidi and The Sound of Music? His strange warble wouldn't have startled a mountain goat.
That was 90.
That's giving me a headache.
Okay. Well.
I can't imagine what it's doing to you.
Well, it definitely did nothing to the snow.
All right, well, that's about as loud as I can get. I think it's time to go to the megaphone.
Okay.
A megaphone should take this scale test to the max.
Is it off the charts?
Yeah, that was maxing it out at 120.
120, that's like as loud as a jet engine, right?
Not quite.
Not quite. All right, let's try this again.
Aiming the megaphone toward a different part of the mountain might hit the right note.
Oh! That is a result.
That was a hair trigger, and it went. It went with sound from your voice.
Odele-hee-hoo. This alpine tale may just be true.